Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen and enjoy my stories every day. The dashboard clock glows 2:17 a.m. as I hand the wheel over to Marty, my eyes heavy after miles of endless highway. The hum of the truck is a constant companion, lulling me into a sense of false security. Marty, with his unruly beard and a grin that never quite reaches his eyes, nods at me as I stagger toward the back. "Get some shut-eye, Jake." "I've got this," he drawls, the southern twang thick in his voice. The curtain to the sleeper berth whispers shut behind me, and I collapse onto the narrow bed. The fabric smells faintly of diesel and sweat, a smell I've come to associate with freedom, the open road, and now, betrayal. I drift off, the rhythm of the road vibrating through the truck's frame like a cradle. A sharp jolt wakes me. The truck is stationary. Confused, I peel open the curtains slightly. We're parked at a truck stop, neon lights casting garish shadows. I frown, wondering why Marty stopped. We had agreed to push through to Denver without brakes. Then I see her. Amid the harsh glow of the street lamps, my wife, Laura, leans into a trucker's window several rigs down. Her laughter floats across the cool night air, unmistakably hers. My heart stalls, then thunders painfully against my ribs. I slide out of bed, my movements robotic. As I approach, her smile fades, her eyes widening with recognition, then panic. Marty is beside her, handing money to another trucker, his laughter booming. I can't think. I can't breathe. "Laura." My voice is a hoarse whisper, drowned out by the hum of idling engines. She turns, her expression crumpling. "Jake." It's not what. "Save it," I hiss, the words like venom on my tongue. Marty claps me on the shoulder, his smile greasy. "Easy, buddy. It's just a bit of fun." Fun. My vision blurs with a cocktail of rage and despair. "I trusted you," I spit at him, then to her, "and you." "I can explain, please," Laura pleads, her hand reaching out to me. I jerk away, her touch like fire. "Don't." Turning on my heel, I storm back to the truck, the image of her there, with him, seared into my mind. I know what I must do. This betrayal won't go unanswered. I won't let it. As the sun begins to rise, painting the sky with streaks of orange and pink, a plan forms in my mind, dark and vengeful. Marty and Laura have no idea what's coming. They think they've played me for a fool, but they're wrong. I'm going to ruin them. Both of them. The sun climbs higher as I idle at the diner across the street, my eyes never straying from the truck stop. My hands tremble on the steering wheel, not from cold, but from fury simmering beneath my skin. I need allies, or at least some form of leverage. I can't take them down alone. I glance around the diner. It's mostly empty, save for a few early risers nursing their coffees. I spot a face I recognize, Sam, a fellow trucker with a reputation for knowing everything about everyone in our line of work. "Mind if I join you?" I ask, sliding into the booth opposite him without waiting for an invitation. Sam looks up, his eyes narrowing as he takes in my haggard appearance. "Jake, you look like hell. What's got you rattling around at this hour?" "It's Laura," I start, and the words tumble out, the story of her betrayal and Marty's deceit. Sam's expression darkens with each word. "That low-down, dirty." "Yeah, and I need to fix this. I need to make sure they don't just walk away from this like nothing happened." Sam rubs his chin thoughtfully, his brow furrowed. "You know, there's a guy here, goes by the name of Rick. He's good with delicate situations. Might be willing to help you out for the right price." "Delicate?" "I need more than delicate, Sam. I need devastating." Sam nods, understanding clear in his eyes. "I'll introduce you." Minutes later, I'm shaking hands with Rick, a broad-shouldered man with a gaze sharp as a hawk's. We find a quiet corner, and I lay it all out for him, my voice low and steady. Rick listens, his face impassive. When I finish, he leans back, his eyes assessing. You want revenge, not justice. That's a different game. But it can be done. You got any dirt on Marty? Anything that can ruin him? I think, then remember. He's been skimming off the top. Sells some of our loads on the side. Never could prove it before, but I know. Rick's smile is slow and cold. That's a start. What about your wife? Everyone thinks Lara's the devoted trucker's wife. Nobody knows about this. If it got out, it'd destroy her reputation. Rick finishes for me, his tone dry. Yeah. He nods slowly. I can work with this. I'll need some time to set things up. You sure you want to go through with this? Once we start, there's no going back. I'm sure, I affirm, my voice resolute. Rick extends his hand, and I shake it, the deal sealed with a firm grip. All right then, he says, standing up. Let's bring them down. As I watch him leave, a part of me recoils at the enormity of what I'm about to do. But the larger part, the part wounded and roaring for retribution, silences any doubts. This is the path I've chosen. I sip my coffee, cold now, and wait for the storm I've summoned to break. The game has changed, and I'm no longer just a player, I'm the one setting the rules. The next few days are a blur of whispered conversations and covert meetings. I work with Rick to gather the necessary evidence against Marty, all while keeping a watchful eye on Lara and him. The weight of what I'm doing presses down on me, but the sharp sting of betrayal drives me forward. Rick arranges for us to meet with a tech expert, a wiry young woman named Tessa who specializes in surveillance. You want eyes on them? I can give you eyes that won't blink, she says confidently, tapping away at her laptop in a dimly lit coffee shop. How soon can we get this rolling? I ask, eager and anxious in equal measure. Give me a day to set up the equipment. You'll have live feeds, recordings, everything. Tessa's smile is all business. Just make sure your targets are where you say they'll be. They will be, I assure her, my mind racing ahead to the consequences of what we're about to uncover. That night, under the cover of darkness, Tessa rigs the truck with hidden cameras and mics. Her hands move with practiced ease, hiding tiny lenses in shadows and mics in crevices. This truck will be the stage, and they won't even know they're the stars, she murmurs, almost to herself. The first test of our setup comes sooner than expected. I invite Marty for a drink under the guise of smoothing over past tensions. We sit in the cab, bottles in hand, the camera hidden behind the sun visor recording every word. So, we good? Marty clinks his bottle against mine, a sloppy grin on his face. We're good, I lie smoothly, feeling the burn of the beer and the weight of my deceit. Marty relaxes, unaware of the eyes and ears capturing his every move. You know, Jake, about that night with Lara, it was nothing personal. Nothing personal, I echo, my grip tightening around the bottle. Yeah, just fun and games, you know. We all got our needs, he continues, oblivious to the tightening of my jaw. The conversation, recorded and stored, would serve as the first piece of ammunition. With each of Marty's unwitting confessions, I feel a mix of triumph and disgust. The following morning, I meet with Rick to plan the next phase. We've got him on tape now. It's time to expose him, I say, handing over the recordings. Rick listens intently, nodding along. This is good, real good. Marty's going down. But we need something solid on Lara to wrap this up. I nod, the plan crystallizing. I think I know just the thing. We set up a scenario to catch Lara in the act. A staged breakdown where she usually meets her clients. Rick has a guy pose as a trucker in need of company, and Tessa's cameras are ready to capture the transaction. I watch from a distance, a hollow feeling in my stomach as Lara approaches the planted trucker. My heart races as they exchange words, the hidden microphones picking up every syllable. The evidence stacks up, undeniable and damning. As I drive away, preparing to confront the life I knew with the truths I've uncovered, the sky breaks open with rain, as if mourning the impending fallout. I'm ready to end this charade, to bring down the curtain on this twisted play. But the weight of what comes next, the exposure, the ruin, the shattered lives, hangs heavy on my soul. The rain hasn't stopped for days, mirroring the turmoil inside me as I drive towards the final confrontation. The evidence against Marty and Lara is secured in my laptop bag, heavy as the betrayal itself. As I pull into the truck stop where this all started, my heart thuds with a mix of dread and determination. Inside the diner, I spot Lara sitting alone, nursing a coffee. The sight of her, so familiar yet so foreign, tightens something in my chest. I take a deep breath and walk over, sliding into the booth opposite her. Lara looks up, her eyes widening. "Jake, Save it," I cut her off, my voice colder than I intend. "I know everything, Lara." Her face crumbles, and for a moment, the woman I loved peeks through the facade. "Jake, I can explain. Please." "It's too late for explanations," I say, pulling out my laptop. I open it, showing her the videos, the photos, the damning conversations. "I trusted you." Tears stream down her cheeks. "I was going to tell you. It wasn't supposed to be like this." I shake my head, feeling a bitter laugh rise in my throat. "And Marty? Did he force you into this?" No, it was all me. I was scared to tell you, about the debts, the threats. I didn't know what to do." "Debts? Threats?" My anger falters, confusion taking its place. Lara wipes her eyes, taking a deep breath. "I got involved with some bad people, gambling debts. They threatened to hurt you, to take everything. I thought I could fix it before it got out of control." My mind reels, pieces of a puzzle I hadn't even known were missing starting to click into place. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I was ashamed. And scared." She reaches across the table, her hand trembling. "I'm so sorry, Jake." Just then, the diner door swings open, and Marty strides in, spotting us and heading over with a confident smirk. "What's this? A reunion?" I stand, facing him. "It's over, Marty. I know about the side jobs, the skimming. It ends now." Marty's smirk fades, replaced by a sneer. "You think you've got me cornered, huh? You're in this just as deep." Before I can reply, the diner door bursts open again. Rick steps in, flanked by 2 police officers. "Actually, Marty, you're the one who's cornered." Marty blanches as the officers approach, handcuffing him. Rick nods at me, a grim smile on his face. "We got him, Jake. And the trucking company's clean. He was the rot." As Marty is led away, I turn back to Lara. "And you, what about the threats?" "They're real," Rick interjects, having overheard. "But we've taken care of it. Your debts are cleared, Lara. Consider it a favor, for Jake." Lara sobs, relief and sorrow mingling. "Thank you," she whispers. I sit back down, my anger dissipating into a weary sadness. "Lara, Jake, I'll understand if you can't forgive me. But I'm going to make this right. I swear." The rain stops abruptly, as if on cue, sunlight streaming through the diner windows. I look at Lara, really look at her, seeing the woman I married and the mistakes she made. And in that moment, I realize forgiveness isn't immediate, but maybe, just maybe, it's possible. We'll see, Lara. Let's start with the truth, all of it. From now on. As we talk, the weight on my shoulders begins to lift, ever so slightly. The road ahead is uncertain and likely bumpy, but for the first time in a long time, I feel like we're facing it together.